Hey guys, it's Yuta. So I'm uploading this video again because one of the guys didn't want to be in the video anymore. So if you want to watch it again, here we go.
I think dating in Japan is not as hard as people think it is as an Asian. Because there are a lot of parties and events which you could go, and that's where a lot of people who are like-minded, not to date but to meet new people, come together, and you sort of like hang out with them after that, like get your contacts and hang out with them. And it's pretty common in Japan to have events hosted like these every day, even though it's a Monday, Tuesday, people drink every day. But I would say when I was first here in Japan, I used Tinder to make friends. I'm not on Tinder anymore. I'm just saying I'm not on Tinder anymore. I just don't want to.
Did you actually make friends on Tinder?
Yes, I did. I found... shut up. Yes, I did. I found really great friends. Even I'm friends till now. And we're still hanging out, girls included. And I mean, I know in the Western countries, Tinder is strictly just for sex and hookups. But in Japan, it's slightly different. I feel like people genuinely want to hang out with you, and like a lot of travelers come and like, hey, you know Japan well, let's hang out. Can you show me around? Or they'll just talk to you and ask you like, what's a good place to eat? What's a good place to go? And then, yeah, for one thing, for sure, Japanese guys are always on time, and that's what I like about it. They would never be late, and they would make sure exactly where to meet them. Because they know, like, as a foreigner in Asia, as a foreigner in Japan, I would be probably lost if, let's say, we go to Shinjuku, we meet up in Shinjuku Station. I would probably get lost there, and they would know, like, okay, they would tell me, like, beforehand, okay, you go out of West Exit, and you see, like, something on your left, and on your right is this building. So it's pretty much planned out, and I like that about Japanese guys.
Yeah, meeting in Shinjuku is generally a bad idea.
Yeah,
if you're not familiar with the area.
It is.
It's kind of embarrassing, but I thought it was like a huge hindrance in terms of like me having like darker skin or like brown skin, or me being Indian, that I would have a more difficult chance dating. But I think that was just a reality that I created for myself. No, actually, if anything, it gives me an advantage. Because what I've noticed these days is that a lot of Japanese girls, from what I've noticed, are actually not that interested in, quote unquote, white guys as much. I actually don't see a lot of them caring. They actually try to avoid them, actually. A lot of my Japanese friends that speak English, and they're very, very intelligent and educated girls, and they've traveled a lot. They actually are very suspicious of a lot of white guys, because a lot of them don't speak English that well. Not all, of course, but a lot of them don't speak it well enough, and they don't care to learn.
You mean Japanese, right?
Japanese. Like, they don't care to learn Japanese. So for some reason, they really like South Asian features, because they're like, oh, Indian girls are the most beautiful girls in the world because of all the Miss Universe and stuff that they've won. So, and the fact that I'm not so intimidating, they find it easy to talk to me, I think.
Comparing to dating in Canada,
Yeah.
how's dating in Japan different?
I find that girls here are more open to at least, go out for a coffee. All the ones that I've asked, they will almost always agree to go out for a coffee. It's not a date, but maybe it's like sort of like a date, but it's a coffee. It's not serious, and any Japanese girl will actually give me the chance. Whereas in Canada, a girl will most likely not even give me the chance to have a coffee date unless she's actually even a little bit attracted to me.
How did you meet the girls you've dated in Japan?
Oh, I haven't dated any girl.
Is it because you're not interested in dating that much, or like, are you busy, or maybe is it difficult?
That's a very good question. It's a host of those other things. I don't think that I'm too busy, but I might want to go bouldering or something, like rock climbing. And, a lot of girls don't really think of that as a date. So they're already like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't like to go to restaurants so much, but I still go.
Dating in Japan is not as difficult as some people like tend to say, and it's definitely not a white advantage for me. So it's easy actually because I go out a lot, especially when you're in Tokyo, when there's like a lot of events and you can just join, especially on Facebook. It's not easy if you use Tinder and some sort of dating apps because you get the option to choose. So if you're that demographic who loves to use like dating sites and stuff, like it's really hard for you to find a date because Japanese girls over there actually pick like white people, black people, and some sort of like Caucasian foreigner. But that's their demographic, and that's okay. But if you want to date a Japanese girl that's, you know, authentic Japanese and not looking for a white person, just join events. You know, you'll be fine.
How's dating different in Japan compared to the Philippines?
Oh, the Philippines! Wow. I don't know. I only dated like 2 persons in the Philippines. I could say it's definitely cheaper to date someone in the Philippines than Japan. No, because like in Japan, I mean, first things first, the things are really expensive. And in the Philippines, like chilling in someone else's house is a thing, even though when there's just parents and you're just chilling, that's a thing. I don't know. I feel like in Japan, it's way harder to find places to go to. Because back in the Philippines, you have this one big mall to do movies, to do game centers and everything. As to in Japan, you have to like Google everything. I think you have to make a plan beforehand, right? That's what guys do, especially on first dates. Like typical Japan first date is like movies and food. That's it. You get out at 4 p.m.
And
right?
Taito Station.
Yeah, and Taito Station, exactly.
Well, my sexuality, I'm bisexual, so I guess I've got that privilege where I've got, like, for example, like gay apps. So that is it makes it really easy to just meet people and be around people and actually like find people who can actually speak English or can teach you like Japanese. So for me, I think it's easier in this country because I'm Asian and of my sexuality. So I haven't found that much difficulty in terms of meeting people. Dating people, yes, but I think that's more of like a cultural difference where I'm very opinionated and I'm very like, I tend to say things on the spot, and I think our values, our morals, like we don't even know what it's like yet. So for me, like I really value like being able to have like opinionated conversations, but also like, you know, having fun, going for a drink. And I find a lot of those values, like being opinionated, like I don't see that much in a lot of the men that I've met here. And yeah, with that particular guy, it was just wanting to be in a relationship for being the sake of a relationship. And I think, especially within the gay community, we do have that as well, especially like first-timers who've just come out. So I have met a few guys that are like that, and for me, I'm like, no, I know what my values are, and I know what values I want in a partner, and so I've just kind of like backed off. But at the same time, I'm not really looking for like anyone. I'm quite happy being single at the same time.
It's been interesting in the same way as getting to know the person and reading if they want to hang out with you or not. And then there's another level above that if you want to be just friends or something more. And I feel like that's even harder to read. In America, I feel like everyone's very straightforward in their in what they want to do. If you want to date or just have friendly brunch or something like that. But I feel like in Japan, a lot of the times you don't really know, especially when I'm going to language exchange programs. We all kind of go for a common benefit, but I kind of feel sometimes like they're interested in dating and sometimes they're not. I get very mixed signals sometimes, and that comes with the language barrier, the cultural barrier. I feel like in America it'd be very straightforward. Like if I take you to dinner, if I take you to a movie, that's a very straightforward sign that I want to date you. But in Japan, I feel like it could be a very casual thing or it could be a date thing, and I feel like if I don't confess my love for you right away, then there's no way that they would know that I like them or they like me.
Do you think being Asian here, do you think it makes your dating life easier or like more difficult compared to like being non-Asian?
I guess it depends on the girl. Definitely, some girls definitely want a foreigner that looks more Caucasian. Other times they want they feel more comfortable with a guy that looks more like what they're used to. I think it goes both ways. I think they definitely feel more comfortable around me in some cases since I'm an Asian American.
People don't commit really that easily in America either. Everyone always has this like fine line between dating and being friends, so I can't just be Japan, but the language makes it more difficult. It's hard for me to convey my emotions and like how I feel about someone in Japanese. So that's usually one of the biggest things. But just based on like looking around, like going to the clubs or something, or going to places where you might meet people that you want to date, that's also really confusing because like sometimes at the club I'll get people walk past me and they'll be like, oh, hello, konnichiwa. I'm like, what? Like, okay, I look like all the rest of the people here, so I guess I understand that. But it's hard to be an American in these social settings. So dating is equally, like that makes dating complicated because everyone, like even foreigners, will think I'm from Japan. And so then it gets like, I just have to clarify a lot of things. So Tinder in Japan is kind of interesting because a lot of people are like, they want to learn English. So a lot of the bios are like, oh, teach me English. And that's it. So I'm like, oh, so this is like, it's like a Eikaiwa like app here. I don't know, like that was the vibe I got initially. So I didn't know if people like wanted to date or if they were just really interested in learning the language.
Dating, it's hard, for sure. As a French person as well, it's just like you need to talk, like there's a lot of communication going on, and even if it's like small things, but here you don't say anything, like especially Japanese, they don't say anything when they're angry or like happy, so you don't really know, and it's really hard actually to just like read everything and just like see all the details and stuff. So it's hard to with Japanese to date them. It's just the communication is not there, so it's really hard. Like for example, you had a bad day and so you don't text your girlfriend or boyfriend, and for us, like for French, I'm speaking with like just the French label, but like if you say just like if you tell your girlfriend or boyfriend, yeah, I had a bad day, so I don't want to talk, it's okay, we understand, it's like, okay, we're just giving you time. But if you don't say anything for 2 or 3 days, it's like, what the hell happened? It's like, why aren't you like, are you angry or something, or like at me because it's been 3 days, it's like no words. So yeah, it's if you don't say anything, we won't know. So
let's talk about dating a little bit.
Yeah. It's very varied. Like I get a lot of responses across the board. Like one guy that I was talking to thought it was kind of cool that I was an American, but then another guy was kind of more reserved because I'm a little outspoken when I want to be. So a lot of different responses. It's embarrassing. I wouldn't really call them dates because I'm more interested in language exchange, but one guy made it really feel like a date and I got so embarrassed. Like he took me to this nice cafe and he asked me about my dating history. All of a sudden I was so shocked I didn't know what to say. It's very embarrassing. I think even that's pretty rare in America. The guys that I hang around wouldn't ask me that.
I haven't dated any. I'm a teenager, too young to date. I spent like more than half of my life in Vietnam, which is the culture is Asian, so the same. So I feel like Japanese men and the other Asian men is the same. So just I have to try guess what they're thinking. It's normal to me.
At first, you might think that Japanese people might just be only interested in like white foreigners, and actually, to tell you the truth, this might be it's a very subjective statement I'm about to make and quite strong, but actually the two most attractive Japanese women that are dating someone that I've met are actually both dating Indian guys. And I've met hundreds of Japanese girls. Like, I'm living here for 2 years and I used to go out a lot. Don't think that Japanese girls are close-minded. They're actually extremely open-minded about dating. I've seen Japanese girls date black guys, Indian guys, Indonesian guys. It doesn't matter about your looks. It really doesn't. Whether you're tall or short. I'm extremely short. I'm for the Americans and the Canadians, I'm 5'5". For the rest of the world, I'm 167 centimeters. I'm not tall at all for a guy. So they don't care about height or like looks or like. They're quite open-minded.
So the reason why I wanted to make this video is that there's not a lot of information about dating around the world as an Asian. And there's also a lot of misconceptions. So if you are Asian and if you're interested in dating around the world, I think it's better you just experience it yourself. You definitely shouldn't just blindly trust random information that you find online. But if you are interested in dating in Japan, there's one thing that will definitely help you, which is speaking Japanese. So if you want to learn Japanese with me, I can send you some free Japanese lessons by email, so click the link and subscribe to my email group, Japanese with Yuta. Alright, see you guys soon. Ciao, ciao.